Hi darlings, thank you for joining me on tea time in Zagreb, Croatia. This is so incredible. This is the first tea time on the road, and for those of you that are new to tea time was created almost a year ago. I did my first tea time episode, and it's because I needed a way to connect with all of you. This kind of virtual TTL family was really important, that I not just, post photos and you guys kind of like to see my content that comes out. I really wanted to engage with you and have conversations over a cup of tea about things that are affecting each of us every single day, some really major issues that I have kind of dealt with in my own life and my own experience. So it's a little bit of like storytelling and a little bit of inspiration of just seeing things through an everyday woman's eyes. And I've been through a lot in my 42 years. So this past year, sharing tea time with you, darlings, has been very liberating and therapeutic for myself, because there's been a lot of vulnerable conversations. And so I won't do too much more in the introduction here. I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed on what tea time is and why it's so important to me. And being that I'm away from home for the next month, today's topic is about being alone and alone time and the importance of alone time and what that looks like for me, for someone who travels in a non-quarantine situation, who travels over half the year, and what that has looked like over the last decade of my traveling experiences. And so before we just jump into that conversation, I want to share with you this lovely tea that I bought from a market, literally like right outside my hotel. It is a ginger lemon, and it's an organic, lovely tea. And I have a tea kettle in my room, thank goodness, because it literally has been sustaining my hydration level, just because I love drinking tea all day. And so I have my lemon ginger tea right here. And then also they bought me some lovely fresh baked cookies, so I have some little biscuits to eat with my tea. But I won't be eating and drinking too much. Let's talk about this being alone. So being alone, for me, I'm just gonna start at the beginning. And I, for those of you that don't know this, was and always will be a teenage mother. So when I say that, and why I mention that is, I had never been alone in my life, not my entire adult life. Being a mother at that age means you have no liberties, no freedom. I surrendered myself and my life to my children, and happily surrendered. But that is the type of mother that I am. And so basically I never went to the bathroom alone. I never ate alone. I never slept alone. But like, there was a lot of, that word was a scary, scary word for me. And it wasn't until my separation, when I left the girl's father, that I was alone with them. And then when I started working as a flight attendant, then I was alone with me. And being alone with me was, it took a lot of adjusting to, because I don't think I even really knew me. I didn't even know what I like to eat. So when you have children, and you have children that young, all of my maturing came through their needs, what they wanted to eat, what they wanted to do, and so forth, and cultivating my individual self while being their mother. My identity was blurred and my needs were blurred. And so that word alone, I'm serious, scary. In the beginning, when the girls, before I started flight attending, when the girls would just go and visit their dad on the weekends, I was like, what do I do with myself? It was extremely challenging, and I started like I would just put myself together and go out to lunch, right? And bit by bit, I learned how to eat by myself. And so, but simultaneously, I just fell into flight attending. And so I was learning all of this at the same time. How to eat alone, how to sleep alone, how to just be alone with my own silence and thoughts, and what it meant to just take a hot shower without anyone walking in. It just foreign. And we're talking, I was what age? 31, okay? So just a little over 10 years ago, I had my first experience of being alone, which is, I don't know, in today's world, a lot of us are kind of on our devices and so forth. But for me, being alone meant I could learn what Tennille likes. I can learn what Tennille wants to eat and what makes me happy. And you just kind of silence everything around you and you're sitting with yourself, and instead of it remaining scary for me, I decided to kind of like champion for myself and figure it out and figure out what it meant to be, I don't know, how to just be me. And I know that sounds crazy. I've always had a strong sense of self and so forth, but I'm talking about the things that most people take for granted. Can I sit down and read a book? Yes, I could do that. I'm alone. Can I don't know, nap? Yes, I'm alone. Can I take a hot shower and just really just enjoy that? Yes, because I'm alone. And that's when skincare came into my life. That's when healthy eating came into my life. That's when I realized those are the things that I'm really passionate about. Those are the things that bring me joy. And that's when fitness revisited to my life. So there was a lot of things I learned by being alone, especially with traveling. I would go to the hotel gym. I would read books. I got, like I said, into skincare. I started traveling with all of my holistic superfoods and all of those things. And I really just learned to explore cities and really enjoy my own thoughts and my own musings and the things that just, my creativity, like all those things, it was just like coming to the surface, and it was a rebirth. That was definitely a moment of rebirth. Being alone taught me so much about Tennille, and I will be forever thankful for transitioning into flight attending just for the sheer fact of learning to be alone. I want to make something clear. Alone is not lonely, okay? So I, over the years, have spent a lot of time alone and have never felt lonely. And I am here in Croatia for an entire month, and I promise you, I'm not gonna feel lonely, even though I'm alone. And that is a cultivated, I feel like it's been a cultivated skill, and I can always FaceTime, I can always call my family. I do miss them, but I cherish my alone time. I just want to kind of run down a few benefits of being alone that I have learned over the last decade. And number one thing that I have learned from being alone is that, one, I love myself. I love my thoughts. I love my energy. I didn't know it was masked. Who I was masked by so many other things that I didn't ever get to know Tennille. And so being alone really made me like happy to just be, I don't know, me alive and just enjoying life. And it's taught me a lot about just my needs and the things that I need daily to make me happy and thrive. So that was, I guess the first benefit is just that self-exploration and just learning myself and learning that I do love myself, and it's not covered by all these other distractions. So being alone is definitely the first thing. Second thing about being alone, it gives you the space to set goals, problem solve, and just like my figure of speech is just kind of like zero in or dial in on the things that are massively important to you, because you have no distractions, so you can really begin to, I don't know, plot life a little bit when you're alone. The third thing about being alone, another benefit, is it gives you time to re-energize yourself, disconnect, and just shut off your phone and or put it on, you know, do not disturb or whatever it is. But it is a great chance for myself and to just, I don't know, be quiet, be still, and re-up my energy. Just what I do, you know, flight attending and blogging takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of creativity, and so being alone gives me that chance to just exhale, re-energize, and get ready for the next thing. Okay, so the next thing kind of piggybacks on re-energize, and like I said, what I do in my blogging life, it takes a lot of creativity, and creativity is only restored when I can be alone. And it doesn't have to be like, you know, oh, I need to spend the whole day by myself. No, just hot shower, lovely skincare, boom, creativity just starts flowing again, and I just feel like ready. And it's amazing. Sometimes I'll be in the shower and I'll go to bed and I'll just like sit up and I'll immediately have to text Carol, who is the better half of TTL, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do you think of da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And that juice, that creativity always flows back when I have just that quiet alone time with myself. So it's a great, if you're kind of lacking creativity and direction in that way, a little alone time might be just the thing. Alone time for me has taught me that there's a lot of things that I didn't know that I really loved. So I've learned a lot of new things while being alone, and it's because you actually have that undistracted or time to just learn something new and so many things. But yes, being alone gives you time to learn something new or read something new, just try new things. Another benefit of being alone is I am way more productive when I'm alone. Quarantine has taught me that working from home, being not really alone, and still trying to do like blogging and everything, I'm used to kind of the kids being out of the house and Mike just being on the property somewhere, and so I would get like alone time when I was at home. And this quarantine, lordy, there was like no alone time. It wasn't until coming to Croatia that I was like, man, I have been missing this. I have been missing just getting up and like sticking to my schedule and just boom, 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 boom. I am amazed at what I can get done by 3 o'clock when I'm alone. Like, it's a whole new world for me. But again, balance. It's not that I don't want to be around my family. It's that I have learned that being alone, I am definitely more focused, more productive, and more just on it. And I'm kind of an on it person, but I'm like even more like boom, boom, boom. It's just such a gorgeous thing to be here and to every day get up and I'm just like, I know what I need to do and I'm getting everything done. I'm going to bed at normal times. I'm waking up at normal times. So really great for productivity. The next thing I mentioned, but I really do believe that being alone matured me, and it taught me how to just be alone with my needs, my feelings, my thoughts. And so in that way, it was like therapeutic. I needed some healing. My 30s was all about healing. I had been through so much in my younger years, you know, and I didn't know how much healing I needed, but being alone allowed me it like gave me permission to sit with my feelings and be okay with my thoughts. And I don't know, it like filled me up. It definitely healed me in ways that I didn't recognize that I needed being alone. So that definitely being alone, not being lonely. And it's because I used that time. I really, especially traveling a lot, I use that time to just kind of get with myself and with my feelings and all of that. And bit by bit, man, oh man, did I heal from a lot of things that were going on in my life. I'm gonna say the final thing that being alone has taught me is to appreciate my time with my family. So I already told you that I don't talk so much with my family, but when I, for example, get back from this trip, I'm definitely going to enjoy all the things that I miss. Like, I miss making tea, or making my tea and my husband's making his coffee, and we're kind of like bumping into each other because both of our stations are right next to each other. I can just look over at him and just be like, gosh, I really miss this, and slow down those moments. And you can be more intentional with the people in your life, your family, your friends. And even though again, I know we're in quarantine, and so we're probably all getting kind of worn out with each other. I mean, for me, having this huge break of time from them, I am definitely going to be way more intentional and really appreciative of all the things that I love that the girls do, and the way they talk to each other, and like all the little funny things that they tease mommy about. It's gonna be great, and I'm looking forward to that. But until then, I am going to do all those things that I just mentioned to you guys. I'm going to enjoy being alone and being creative and being productive, and you know, doing my red light therapy without Mike saying, why is that red light? Baby, none of us, how are we gonna see the TV? I can't see the TV. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. So that is pretty much what I want to chat with you guys about being alone, and the importance of what that did for me through my 30s, and how that like matured me and changed me and shaped me. And also, coming to the blog, I'm definitely going to be doing more bit on the traveling and all of that, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about that, so stay tuned for that. And as always, I'm gonna grab my tea and say cheers. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.